Cole, we can't thank you enough. Your family, sons and daughters. I gotta start with something. And look, if you come here with me, if you see a tear running down my face, it's the wind, because growing up in that red dirt in Oklahoma, that my daddy told me 1,000 times. He said, "Cowboys don't cry." So, and I've told that to Cole. Cowboys don't cry. So.
Hi, Chloe.
What are you doing?
Enjoy your day.
So this is Leadville 2024. I'm doing a voiceover on this one, and this is something new that I haven't done before. But something different happened on this race. Also, only about 30 minutes into the race, my GoPro mount snapped off and then started rolling down the hill. I was using like an official GoPro mount, and it was plastic, and that's, I think, where the fault was you can't use a plastic mount. It was on some of the chunkier downhill, but my idea is to I'm gonna watch the video as you guys are watching it and just try and remember different things. So this year, it was 2024. I also did this race in 2023. I remember in 2023, I felt like the race started off slower in my group. I was in the front the last time, but on this one, I just wasn't in a super hurry. I started off closer to the middle. I remember passing some people, but from last year, I had remembered it wasn't that much of a big deal, because as soon as we got to the climbs, everyone just kind of figured out where they were going to be. But this year, so I walked about half as much as I walked last year. I got to Leadville 7 days early and to try and acclimate. Last year I got there like 2 days early. I'm not actually sure if acclimating helped me. I sort of feel like it's different for everybody. It can affect people differently. I I did a little math on my stats, and like from May to Leadville, May to August, I had 114 hours of training in 2023, and then in 2024 I had 170 hours, which is a significantly more hours of training for this Leadville. And then I was able to finish in 2023 in 11 hours and 57 minutes. And in 2024, I finished in 11 hours and 13 minutes. I did some upgrades to my bike. I have a Trek Super Caliber, which is 100 millimeters front and 65 in the rear shock. And I feel like in 2023, I did not have enough suspension, and the bike was just rattling. And I remember coming down, I don't know all the names of the descents. I think it's called Carter Summit. It's between you get to the top at the halfway point. It was so chunky that in 2023 I couldn't see. It was just shaking me around, and the vibrations were coming through the bike so hard that I could barely see. I remember pulling the brake so hard that I think I burned through my pads and had to change my brake discs when I got back. This year I put on the new suspension, which was like the Fox Factory 120, and also I put a dropper on. And I remember coming down from I think Carter Summit, from the halfway point where you get like a little bit of downhill. I remember coming down and barely touching the brakes. I remember flying past people and having to yell at them if I'm on the left or the right, and it was just crazy. I think all day. I mean, I'm not in the fastest group, but from people around me, I think I got passed by one person all day, and later on I caught him and was racing him later on. So I would definitely recommend having good suspension, and a dropper helps a lot. My weakest point in Leadville was definitely climbing. I am like a 200-pound rider, and I feel like if I could get down to 180, then climbing would be a lot easier for me. I had my nutrition pretty good. What I did was I kept a Camelback and a 200 carb bottle. No, I had 2 Camelbacks and 200 carb water bottles at Twin Lakes Dam in a cooler. They let us do cooler drop-offs this year. That was a first time thing they did with Leadville, is to let you do a cooler drop at the dam the night before. And then I had my crew it was at mile 28.5, and as soon as I got to 28.5, I would hand my wife my backpack with a Camelback with the water, and she switched over my emergency rain jacket, because I've heard it can get really cold. I've 2 years in a row now, I haven't really needed the jacket, but I don't know, bringing it just in case. So she would switch that over. My dad would give me my nutrition bottle. We would just swap them out and go. That worked really well. I think I was in and out within 30 seconds. And then from there, I just drank as fast as I could, because I knew my next supply was at like around mile 40. So I got to mile 40 and I was not out of water. I should have been drinking more, and I wouldn't change my nutrition plan at all. I would just, for next year, I'll just try and stick to it better, because I did get behind a little on water, not nutrition. I was good. I was doing 100 carbs an hour. So I got to mile 140. So I grabbed my nutrition bottle, but I left the Camelback. Kept going. I got up to the Carter Summit. I guess that's like mile 52-ish, something. So I got there. Here's the trick. I was trying to find the guy that was just standing there. There's a lot of support up there. It's like neutral support. You can't have a crew up there. And I started yelling at the guy to get his attention, like, yo, you know. So once I got his attention, I got my Camelback off while I was moving. I handed it to him and was like, hey, can you fill this up? Because what happens after you pass by that, you have to go around a small loop, which is about 2 minutes. And I kind of just took my time going around that little loop. By the time I got back, the guy had my Camelback completely filled with water, handed it back to me. I feel like I got out and did something. I feel like I got out and chugged some water, because I think I was dehydrated by then. But after that, I descended, went back to Twin Lakes Dam. I think that's now mile 60. There, I should have swapped Camelbacks again. I didn't. I didn't even stop. On mile 60, I didn't even stop. I had run out of water, but by then I was taking my water bottle, and some people on the side of the road have like pitchers, and I would just come up to them and be like, hey, can you fill it up? And they would fill it up, I would chug it, and then fill up a second one and keep going, and doing it like that. When I saw people ready with water, it was like another super, super fast stop, like 20 seconds. So then my next stop is my aid station again with my crew, which is at like mile 75, give or take a few miles. I got there, did a backpack swap, so I got another 70 ounces on my back of water. got another 200 carb bottle. But by then my average, I don't remember my average mile power. It was going from 9.4 down to 8.9 at one point, because you go up and down these crazy hills. Sometimes it takes you an hour just to get up a small hill, and then you're flying down a hill at 40 miles an hour. Yeah. So anyways, I knew I was going to make it by the end, by the last 2 hours. So this year it was a lot more enjoyable, because I was still pushing it to try and get a good time, but I could at least go in knowing that I was going to make the 12 hour, which was, I don't know, it was a good feeling just to know you're going to get the buckle. Oh, sounds like perfect timing, because it looks like the video ran out. Yeah, next year I'm going to try and find a better GoPro mount that won't fall off, and I'll probably try and do a little better on the editing and kind of just throwing this one together.